first thing we're gonna have to do is get this good and clean. We're gonna have to eventually take these legs off, reposition them, probably do a bunch of surgery. First, we're gonna get this thing washed, get this old latex paint off, and get it good and cleaned, get it sanded, and see what we're working with.
What are you cleaning this with right now?
This is mineral spirits. Just gonna see what it's taken off. We got a lot of, and this is doing a pretty good job of getting it off. We've got a lot of sticky residue, like there were stickers on here at one point, which wouldn't surprise me. And it's doing a pretty good job of taking this off. And I want to get this off before I start sanding because I don't want to gum up my sandpaper. And then also after I get this residue off, I'm going to just wash it with some degreaser. There's a couple spots where there's little gouges and stuff like that. I'm going to actually try to preserve that because I want to keep it looking rustic. I've got 80 grit sandpaper here. If I had 40 or 60, I'd probably start with that just to make these things go a little bit quicker. Sanding. False alarm. Here we go.
Turn it off. Cat-like reflexes.
I'd still rather do this than deal with that gummy paint finish stripper nonsense that's goopy and takes forever to clean up all your tools. We just got done saying how we don't want to use stripper on this because it makes a gummy mess, and it does. But we got tired last night. And because we got tired and we knew we were going to go in the house for probably 10, 12 hours before he came back out, we decided to let some stripper do the work. So we got the stripper on here, got it mostly stripped off. Sorry you didn't get to see that part. It's basically clean all through here. Use the after wash, little mineral spirits. Got some spots that we need to get a little bit better because we don't want to gum up our sandpaper.
Okay, so you might be wondering why we haven't taken the table apart since Nate is going to reconfigure it as a serving table / kitchen island. And the reason for that is because right now we're using it as a workbench. Having the legs still attached to the top makes it really easy to remove the varnish. Nate's going to flip it over, take the legs off, and then we're going to clean the legs and paint them, and then he'll reconfigure them. Now back to sanding. So what are you doing with the chisel?
Well, this right here, if you can come down, you can see right here, this was chunked out pretty bad. And we were going to leave it on account of, you know, the table's rustic, but it was a little too rustic. So basically what we decided to do is go ahead and graft in a piece of wood right here. And this being pine, we went down to the Home Labyrinth down there and got ourselves a piece of premium pine. I don't know if you can see this, but this needs to be trimmed up so that you can see it a little better. But the grain pattern loosely matches the grain pattern once I set this in right here.
Right.
These will all kind of match. And I'm going to cut this to fit right in there, orientated like this with this grain pattern, and then glue this into place right here, clamp it.
Okay.
Sand it all down and hope no one notices.
Well, it'll look great once you put the stain on it.
Yeah, the stain's going to hide a lot, but also at the end of the day, it is a rustic table. We are exactly 7/8. All right, we're back after 3 attempts and getting it just slightly wrong. This third one looks like it's going to work fine. Don't mind that pencil line will throw your eye a little bit, but What we have here is pretty much a matching of the grains. It should be close enough. And then once this will be a little bit proud, so a little high on all ends where I can sand it down after it's glued into place. And then if you come over here to the side, you'll see that the grains will line up. The toughest part about this is going to be this old wood versus the new wood and how it takes the stain. Doesn't match quite right.
How are you going to clamp it down?
That's going to be the tough part, but I'm going to shove, I've got a piece of metal that I'm going to shove in there and kind of wrap it around, set it over here, and then clamp down on top of that. And I may actually throw a finish nail or two in through the side to kind of get it set and then wrap that metal over and clamp it. And I will show you that after I play with it 25 times and fail a couple of times. Then once I get it right, we'll reshoot that.
Okay.
We're going to tackle this one. I went ahead and put some tape on here so I don't get this putty all over my putty knife. Ironically enough, I'm using a putty knife as more of a gate to hold back the putty from going into this crack right here. And this will basically be a backstop for the putty that I'm going to put in this hole right here.
I'll move back a little, give you some room to work.
And what I'm doing is just packing it in. Just packing it in. I don't want to leave any putty where it's not needed because I don't want to sand it. In this particular case, I'm really not worried about it falling a little under the height. Despite its grody appearance, this one has actually been cleaned out, gouged up a little bit so that it has some teeth. This should grab nicely. I'm just smashing it down in there. And we're moving on to the next one, which is right over here, while I still have some putty. Get that smashed in there.
Now, is this putty paintable and stainable?
It is.
From this angle, you almost can't even see where the graft was. That looks amazing. That's the piece that Nate grafted with the new pine, and look at how perfectly it lines up with the grain. It's all smooth and flat. You can't even feel it in there.
So what are we going to do with the different colors there?
Okay, and there's the end. You can see how he matched up the grain of the wood. I think we should just put some tea bags on it, some moistened tea bags, and just rest it right on top of that.
Just kind of wipe it in, see what happens?
Just kind of wipe it in to see if we can get that portion a little bit darker, so when it comes time to staining, we don't have that contrast. What do you think?
Plan.
Okay. So Nate is rubbing the tea bag over that white pine, and it is coming out almost a perfect match. Look at that. The legs had years of caked on dirt and dust. We used a simple soap and water solution to give them a good, thorough cleaning.
Recap time. If you remember, we had these legs that were smushed in way too close, really not functional, couldn't really use it as a table. We've removed the bracing that was instead of these two braces that used to be the base for the table to come up. We got rid of those are gone. Now we're going to add some 2x10 material to this side so that we can spread the legs out and give the legs something to adhere to. The wood for our project. Here's the 2x10 material
that was discussed moments ago. This will be what braces up the legs, and it's also going to be the top of those legs over there. So there'll be a double layer. The layer that you're going to be able to see from the side of the table will get a nice finish on the edge. This is actually deck wood, and we're going to use this to build ourselves a shelf on the bottom of the legs. And then this right here will be a brace down the center. You'll see that here in a little bit, but now we're going to get to some cutting. Let's get cracking. Funny thing happened on the way to the clear coat. As we were going along, we noticed that this was popping hard with the yellows and oranges, and that is not a look that we're going for. So Suzanne had this wonderful idea to whitewash it. So that's what we're going to do. What we've got here is a mix of, actually it's a light, what would you call it, gray or silver white paint?
It's like a gray white that we had lying around, latex paint. We didn't go out and buy anything new. We just used what we had recycled.
Right, because we're trying to go low buck. You know, the less money you spend, the more money you make. We're about 8-to-1, 8 parts water, maybe 9. Not really sure. 8 parts water to 1 part paint. And I don't know if you can get in here. This is kind of what we're working with, which is we think a much nicer look. It still has a little bit of the blue hues coming through from the blue stain that we put on here that didn't really take overall, but here we go. We're just putting this on and then wiping it right back off. I am so glad that we went with this whitewash over the top, because I got to tell you, The orange that was popping out of here was giving us both 90s flashbacks of orange kitchen cabinets and teal Honda Accords. So now this still needs a clear coat over the top, but everything's painted, ready for assembly. The shelves are going to get screwed in from the bottom. We're going to get started on that now. Here we go. Here's where we're at. Shelf turned out pretty good. We got a few dings and some touch-up that needs to be done. But first things first, we're going to install the tabletop.
Here is a recap of the rustic table makeover. We gave it a good cleaning, sanding, and did some repair work. Then Nathan cut some wood to create a shelf underneath and painted the base with 2 coats of Poseidon blue. After a few failed attempts at correcting the color of the yellow pine tabletop, we decided to do a whitewash and applied several coats of polyacrylic for extra durability. Here is the finished project. It took a lot longer than we hoped it would, but we're happy with the way that it turned out. Nathan is going to add 4 wheels to the bottom of the legs to convert this into a kitchen island.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're Nathan and Suzanne and this is Coastal by Design. We refinish furniture, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, click on that subscribe button and notification bell. We have weekly videos. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thanks for watching.
Here's a link to our other videos where you'll see how we picked up this rustic table on Facebook Marketplace for only $25. And there's also a second video with a quick review of the Wagner Flexio 3500 sprayer that we used for this project.